Hello beautiful friends, welcome back to another class. Today we are privileged to be sitting in the Te Karo Bay, which is in Coromandel, New Zealand. It is so insanely beautiful here and the weather is really starting to pick up in warmth, which is always welcomed. Today's class is going to be a full head to toe stretch sequence. So I can guarantee you, whether you're doing this on your own, whether you're doing it as a friend, whether I've sent you this, if you're one of my clients, I can guarantee this is going to make you feel better, your body better, more open, more lifted, more long. Yeah, so we'll get into it. Let's start maybe in a kneeling position or another seated position. And we'll just start taking some circles up and around with the shoulders. So lifting them up towards the ears and then dropping them back and then down. So we're going to start with kind of stretching out the neck and the shoulders first, place where we can always get really tight. And today's class will have a mixture between more dynamic movement and a little bit more static movement. So a little bit more flowy and then a little bit more still. So we're breathing in as we lift the shoulders up, exhaling as we pull that down. Let's try it one more time, breathing in, exhaling as we pull back. Find that tall spine, take a big breath in. As you exhale, can you take your right ear down to your right shoulder? Now you could stay here. You could extend your left hand out towards the side. Now note that this will you might feel quite a bit of sensation through the nerves down the side of the arm and the neck, and if it's ever painful, then come back. It's probably going to feel a little bit uncomfortable. If you're not feeling anything and you want a little bit more, thinking about reaching your hand up a little bit further, I can definitely feel it, while also dropping the right ear down. This is just an option. Take a big breath in. As you exhale, can you turn your eye gaze down towards the ground, keeping the lean of the head. Inhale, come back through center. Exhale, shift it down. Just a few more breaths in your own time. Whew, that was a wasp. One thing about summer is that, yep, all the wasps and the bees come out. One other option you could try here is taking the left hand behind the back and maybe it clasps in the inside of the elbow crease. And then you can take a little tug forward to help open the left shoulder. Take one more breath. And then come back through center. We're going to swap it out. So just start hands on the lap, breathing in, lift tall. Exhale, dropping the left ear towards the left shoulder. And this already might feel like a lot of sensation, so you could stay here. You could try extend the right fingertips out towards the ground. You could stay here if you're not really feeling that much and want to explore a little bit more. The fingertips could lift up a little bit. And whenever we enter into these positions, just be mindful of your breath. And particularly if you stop breathing. Breathe in this position. And then as you exhale, can you turn your eye gaze down towards the left side, towards the ground. Inhaling to come back. Exhaling to turn. You could try the other option with the right hand coming in, clasping at the inside of the left elbow crease. You could even walk your left hand further along the lap so that the right hand drapes behind your back a little bit more. Let's try one more breath. Ooh, wow. Come back through center. Take a big breath in, lift the shoulders up towards the ears, and then as you exhale, roll them back and down. Clasp the hands behind the back. Interlace the fingers. See if you can squeeze the palms together. Take a big breath in. As you exhale, can you pull the knuckles down towards the ground? Feel the chest open towards the front. Maybe you even lift the eye gaze slightly. One more breath. See if you can open a little bit more so we find extension through the spine. And then come back through center. We're going to open a little bit more through the shoulders. Note that your arms might be a little bit different to me. So breathe in, lift the right arm. As you exhale, left hand comes around the wrist, turn the palm away, and then see if you can side bend towards the left. So you're spilling the right ribs out towards the side. You might even just drop the hips over to the right. Draw the shoulders away from the ears. Another option that you could take here is bend the right elbow. And you can always pull on your fingers as you pull the hand down. Press the head back. So this is such a great way to open through the sides of the shoulders, the lats and the obliques. Let's take one more breath. Exhale, can you pull the right ribs to the side even more? Come back through center, let's swap it out. So breathe in, lift the left hand high. Exhale, turn the palm, right hand comes around the wrists, little lean towards the right as you drop the hips towards the left. Keep trying to open the chest up so we're not curling in too much. Another option you can do here is bend the elbow. You might find this helps a little bit more. So try pull on the hand, also trying to open up through the tricep. Press the head back on the elbow. Can you find a little bit more of a curve through the spine? So good. One more breath. Come back through center. Ooh, good job. Okay, bring the hands down to the ground. We're finding a tabletop position. Now spread the fingertips wide. We're going to open out the wrists a little bit, which is something that we all need to do a little bit more. Just take some circles on the wrists. Really try to spread the fingertips wide here. And feel the palm and the fingers press down towards the ground. You might switch direction of the circles. And then coming back through center, you might take one of the palms, flip the fingers around and turn it towards your knees. And you might take a little shift forward and back. This might feel quite intense. So if it does, maybe you just take it out towards kind of the back corner a little bit more so the angle's not as sharp. And then you just take a little shift forward and back. And then when you're ready, come back through center, but flip the back of the hand down the other side. Again, a little shift forward and back. Breathing in to come through, forward a little bit more. Exhaling to shift back a bit. Good, let's swap to the other side. So maybe you flip the hand around, take a little shift forward and back. Just try to breathe into any intensity that you might be experiencing. One more breath. Coming back through center, swap the back of the hand down to the ground. Again, a little lean forward, little lean back. Come back through center. Bring the hands back underneath the shoulders. Breathe in as you drop the belly down and you lift the eye gaze high. Cow pose, draw the shoulder blades back. Lift the tailbone high. Exhale, round through the upper back. We go the opposite direction. Tuck the chin in for our cat. One more time like this. Inhale. See how much extension you can create in your spine from the head all the way down to the pelvis. Exhale, round, same thing. Can you tuck your chin in a little bit more? Drop the tailbone down a little bit more. We're going to stay in our cat. Right hand, we're going to get a little bit funky. Right hand is going to try clasp behind the left thigh. All right, find that clasp and then see if you can drag your right shoulder almost towards the top of the mat and then maybe around a little bit. So we're trying to find a bend through the spine, a lateral bend. And it might take a little shift around to try to find where the stretch feels for you. And what will help is if you can arch your spine a little bit more, if you can pull away from your right hand a little bit more. But again, just have a play shifting forward, shifting back and around. And ideally where this might stretch is through the mid and upper back. So through the rhomboids, the lower traps, as well as the muscles that run down the back of our spine, the spina erectors. Take one more breath here. And then when you're ready, hand comes down. Let's try the other side. So left hand comes behind the back of the right thigh. Breathe in. Exhale as you curve through the spine, but keep lifting up, almost like you're trying your cat here, but with a little twist. Literally. Can you press through the right hand a little bit more? One more breath. Coming back through center. We're going to find a counter pose for that flexion of the spine with extension. So take both steps, take both of your hands forward, 2 big steps forward, take a big breath in. Try to keep the hips over the knees as you drop your chest down towards the ground for your puppy pose. So big opening through the spine, through the shoulders, overhead extension. If you need to, you can shift your hips back a little bit more and find a child's pose. Ideally, we want to shift our hips forward enough so that we create a big curve the other way. Taking a big breath in through the nose. Trying to fill up the lower diaphragm, the ribs and the chest. Feeling the exhale drop you down a little bit deeper. And if you feel like you have enough space here, if your heart is close towards the ground, then you could probably start to try lift your eye gaze up between your hands. All right, giving a little bit more of a curve through the spine, reminding us that the spine goes all the way towards the back of the neck. In fact, the neck is the spine. Can you feel the outsides of the shoulders trying to pull down to the ground? Let's take one more breath. And you might keep your elbows on the ground. Start to shift yourself forward. And then walk your feet back a little bit so that you can lower the hips down to the ground for your Sphinx pose. Spread the fingertips wide. Try breathe in as you press up tall through the hands. Lift through the spine, and as you exhale, pull the shoulder blades back. Squeeze the glutes, try press the toes down. Now if this felt okay, you could try lift the elbows off. Okay, keep trying to revolve the shoulders back. You could stay here. If you felt comfortable enough to do so, you could walk your hands back a little bit or even a little bit more. Okay, just make sure that there's no pinching sensation through the spine. This is our Bhujangasana, our cobra pose. Take one more breath. Try to wrap the insides of the elbows towards the front of your mat if you have one. Now you could stay here, or we could try a little twist. So take a big breath in. As you exhale, see if you can drop the left elbow down or left elbow back as you turn your eye gaze towards the back corner of your mat. Inhale, come back through center. Let's try the other side. Bend the right elbow, twist the chest towards the right, look towards the back. 2 more times. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Let's come all the way down towards the ground. Having the forehead down, having a moment to breathe. We're going to continue on the belly. Extend your right hand out towards the side of your mat, either in line with the shoulder, or you could try bend your right elbow so you make more of a cactus position. Left hand comes by the left rib. Turn the left toes high, breathe in. As you exhale, press through the left hand. Try travel that left foot behind the right thigh. So you open the left foot up and we roll towards the left. Now the bend of the right elbow is going to make this a little bit more challenging. So if you need to lengthen the right arm, and if with the right arm it's even still quite intense, you could take the right arm over your head by the bicep by ear. And that will just work a little bit more with just the twist. Take one more big breath in here. Exhale, maybe pull the knee back a little bit more. Come back through center. Keep the left knee bent, hands come by the ribs. We're going to press up onto our knees and then take the left foot to the outside of our left hand, trying to drop the hips down towards the ground. All right, we've got our kneeling lunge position. So our knees over the ankle. Maybe you take a little shift from side to side here. And you could stay with the hands down on the ground, or you could try come up onto fingertips. Feel that try to lift you up a little bit higher. And if you have blocks or something else nearby to help lift you, you're more than welcome to use that. Take a big breath in, try lift tall. Exhale, can you pull the shoulders back a little bit more? Now you could stay here. You could come back down to your hands. Your left hand could press onto the left thigh and you can twist yourself open towards the right. Sorry, the left. You could stay here. One final option if you wanted to try is a quadricep stretch by taking the right foot up close towards the glutes. Maybe the left hand comes around the right foot and you try pull that right foot in. Now if that doesn't quite meet, then if you have a strap or a band or a pair of tights or a towel, anything really, try loop that piece of fabric around the back of the ankle and then use that as a way to pull you in. Like you could take it over the shoulder or just have it pulling towards you. You could keep the twist or you could draw your chest back down towards the ground. Let's take 2 more breaths here. Unraveling the strap or band if you have that. Place both hands down towards the inside of the leg and then start to shift the hips back, lifting up the left toes. This is our half splits. Try to keep that left knee slightly bent here. Can you pull your left toes back a little bit more? If you need to, you can come to fingertips, or you can even have your hands up on blocks or something else that you might have nearby to help support you. Can you pull your left hip back a little bit more, right hip forward? One more deep breath in. Exhale, can you try sink back a little bit more? Come back through center, bend the left knee, and then take your right toes towards the left side of the mat. Okay, couple of different options here. First option is to bring the hands towards the hips and lift up a little bit more. We're going to start to drop the hips down towards the front of the left heel, front left heel, and then come back. It might be helpful if you have your elbow on your thigh for a bit of support. And you might just shift down and then up a little bit more. If you felt like a little bit more, you could reach the hand towards the ground, stay down, and the right arm could reach up and over. So you get a little bit more of a stretch through the right side body as well. One more deep breath in. Exhale, can you drop the hips forward a little bit more? Get the left knee pressing out. Hands walk in the front side of your hips, but stay turned towards the right. Can you turn your left toes high, lengthen the left leg, and try drop your hips back towards your right heel. So keep the left toes turning high, breathe in as you lift your hips off your right heel. Exhale as you sink back. Now if you're like, I can't feel anything, you might walk your right knee out a little bit more and then try to sink the hips back a little bit more that way, maybe fold forward a little bit more. And if you need to, just stay up a little bit higher. We're trying to stretch through the adductors, the inner of the legs, a little bit of the hamstring as well. Make sure you don't lock that left knee out. Take one more breath. When you're ready, let's walk our hands back towards the top of the mat. Turn the right toes to the back. Plant the hands. Left foot steps behind. Roll yourself down. And we're going to try that on the other side. So extend the left hand out towards the side first. Again, elbow can be bent or it can be straight. Right hand by the ribs. Turn the right toes high. Breathe in. As you exhale, press through the right hand. As you open the heart towards the right foot comes behind you. Try peel that right knee back a little bit more. Again, you could try bend the left elbow if you needed a little bit more space. If you needed to make it more mild, then the left fingertips can reach forward. Another option is to take the right hand up and behind the back, trying to bind maybe with the left hip here. Take one more breath. This is so good for our spine and to open through our pectoral muscles, the front of the chest, as well as the hips. Come back through center. Keep the right knee bent. Both hands come by the ribs. We're getting very sandy here. I'm going to press up onto your knees and then take your right foot to the outside of the right hand for your kneeling lunge. So again, right knee is over the right ankle. Try drop your hips down a little bit, maybe a little shift from side to side here. You could stay with the hands down on the ground. You could come up onto your fingertips. Trying to breathe in, lift tall, reach through the crown of the head. Feeling the shoulder blades pull back. So also finding another extension through the spine. This is also really great to open the hip flexor, the psoas. One of the hip flexors, I should say. It's not the hip flexor. Okay, you could stay here. You could plant your left hand down. You could bring your right hand towards your right thigh and try to open yourself up towards the right side. Keep the shoulders away from ears. You could stay here. You could bend the left knee. Maybe the right hand comes behind to clasp. Okay, again, you can use something to help pull you in a little bit more. And you could stay with more of the twist, or you could try drop the chest back down. It's no right or wrong, just noticing sensations. 2 more breaths. Such a great movement to do if we've been sitting down a lot. Oh yeah. Hands release down to the ground, shift the hips back, lift up the right toes. Soften the right knee here. Maybe the fingertips come down, try breathe in, lift tall. Exhale, can you pull the shoulder blades back a little bit more? Can you sink back towards your hips? Right hip pulls back, left hip pulls forward. Some people might feel this in the back of the legs, maybe the hamstring, maybe the calf. Some people might feel this in their back. No right or wrong. These movements generally catch you where you need a little bit of stretching. Start to shift the hands back forward, bend into the right knee. Remember, left toes turn towards the right. Okay, so you're making a little 90-degree angle perpendicular to the back of the mat. You can lift yourself up. Hands might come to hips, or if you wanted the support, elbow might come towards the thigh. Try to drop your hips down in the direction of that front ankle. Keep the right knee pressing behind you. So this is a big extension through that right hip. Long deep breaths here. You could say here, you could try reach the hand down towards the ground or something else. You could say here, you could reach the left hand arm up, or you could try bind it with your right hip. Just try to keep the chest open. Take one more breath here. Keep the body turned towards the left. Start to walk your hands in front of your left leg. Right toes lengthen. You might need to wiggle it out a little bit if you need. Breathing in. Exhale, try drop the hips back over your heel. Keep the right toes high. Remember, if you need it a little bit more, just keep wiggling that right foot out, maybe the left knee out. Sending the hips back, maybe diving the chest forward a little bit more. There's that rotation of the hip, the knee, the toes towards the sky that is going to help you here, where it becomes a bit of a challenge. And your range might be a lot smaller. You might even have the knee bent quite a bit, and that's totally okay. Well done. When you're ready, we're going to walk ourselves back to the top of the mat, tuck onto the left toes, slide the left knee in. We're actually just going to come to sitting and then straight down onto our backs for the final couple of movements that feel really juicy and good in the body. And if you had that strap or that band or something close by, you're more than welcome to bring it here with you. Let's start by crossing the left foot over the right thigh, pressing the left knee out. Now you could stay here. You could lift the right knee towards you, maybe threading the hands behind the right thigh. If you are taking this option, see if you can press the left knee out with your left elbow. Slight tuck of the chin, shoulders down. Maybe a little shift from side to side feels good. So good for opening our hips, our hip rotators. They can get very tight. Take one more deep breath here. And then extend the right leg out along the ground. Left knee pulls into the chest. You could stay here, or you could try extend the left leg up towards the sky. You could make this more dynamic by pulling the foot in and then extending it out, or you could hold up for a little bit longer. If you wanted to, you could walk your hands up a little bit higher towards the ankle. Now, if you have your piece of fabric, you can hook that behind the back of the leg and help that as a way to, use that as a way to pull your leg in a little bit more. One more breath. Release the leg. Bend the left knee. Left hand might come out to the side. Breathe in. As you exhale, take a little twist over towards the right, trying to keep the left shoulder down on the ground. If you didn't really feel anything, if you've got a bit more space, try to scoop the hips back a little bit more and then twist again. When you're ready, let's come back through center, change it out to the other side. Hook the right foot over the left thigh. Hands reach behind. Try to squeeze the left knee towards the chest. Right elbow presses into the inside of the leg. Again, try to connect with the breath. Letting the breath be an invitation for the body to find a little bit more relaxation. Often we can restrict ourselves from going deeper into movements because we are tight and our nervous system is in kind of fight or flight, our sympathetic nervous system, whereas if we connect with our breath, that allows us the body to feel safe and to explore a little bit deeper. When you're ready, extend the left leg out long, pull the right knee into the chest. You could stay here. You could try extend the right leg up towards the sky. Just getting sand dropped into my mouth, that's great. See if you can pull your right toes back a little bit more. Maybe you point the toes, maybe you flex. Oh gosh. It's not a good idea if you've got sand on your feet. One more breath here. So good for the hamstrings, the back of the legs. Bend the right knee. Take the left hand around the outside of the right thigh. Right hand extends to the side. Breathe in. Exhale, twist the right knee over to the left. Drop the right shoulder down. One more breath here. When you're ready, come back through center. Grab the backs of your legs. We will roll ourselves up to a seat. And I just want to say thank you so much for practicing with me this day. I was going to say this afternoon because I am filming it on an afternoon. But thank you so much for joining me. And I hope your body, your mind feels a little bit better than when it came in. Let me know how you found it. And if you want to support me, then like this video, share it with a friend, and if you wanted to support me even more directly, then you can head over to our Patreon account where we post longer classes, and yeah, it means I can keep producing these videos. Anyway, thank you so much, and I look forward to seeing you sometime soon.